G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to do my new Season 6 drop spot guide, but instead of like the ones I've done in the past and the ones I see every other content creator doing, I want to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to suggest some drop spots that are really strong, and I'm going to say why, but instead of just saying, let's go this drop spot, and then 10 people start dropping there, and then the drop no longer works because everyone knows it's good, I kind of want to talk about different spots around the map that you can then rotate into, that you can drop other places that won't be contested, and then go back and take advantage of them. I want to kind of help you think a bit differently about the map right now and help you with an update on just things you maybe have missed. You might be going Catty Corners, you might love that drop, but if I let you know that over at Camp Cod, if you get Zone, there's a guaranteed upgrade that has guaranteed quests, you can rotate in there late, things like that will help you play a lot better, get more points without just having to go a drop spot that has 10 other kids at it. A whole bunch of you guys have been coming from YouTube to check out my Twitch channel, and I appreciate it so much. It's twitch.tv/Aussie Antics. In the next few days when the arena points reset, I'm going to be doing a bunch of longer streams. I'm going to be doing some educational content. You can watch me grind out arena solos, how you can get champs division when you have the mechanics of a commentator boomer like me. I'll be playing with some pros like NPCS champ Muzz, trying to get as many points as I can in one day. Fun stuff like that. So swing by the Twitch channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. Before I start talking about specific drop spots and loot paths that you can go, the biggest change this season that if you need to know for the map is where to get mechanical parts, where to get bones, but also upgrade NPCs. So we've always had upgrade NPCs in the past. Some of them with 100% spawn rate, like the 2 at Dirty Docks and the 1 at Misty and the 1 at Catty, and it made those drop spots insanely strong. Now, the way the upgrade NPCs work this season is they are all 100% spawn rate. If there is an upgrade NPC at this location, it will be there every single game. You need to utilize this, especially with makeshift weapons, because if you can go there, let's say you go there with a green makeshift, right? You can then upgrade that green makeshift to a blue for 50 gold, which is how much you spawn with anyway, doing no quests, no bounties, and then you upgrade it from blue to purple. So you've now just gotten a purple weapon for only 50 gold and the same amount of upgrade parts you already would have. So let's talk about some insane spots to get upgrade parts and where the NPCs spawn before we even talk about drop spots. So starting off with mechanical parts, everybody knows this. All you gotta do is break vehicles or rusty vehicles or pretty much anything that is mechanical. You've got the tool benches in Catty Corners or anywhere else you see those. You've got the red toolboxes. But one thing that I don't see enough people doing, when you're getting mechanical parts, when you hit a vehicle, every single time you hit the vehicle, you have a chance to get mechanical parts. If you swing your pickaxe, you're hitting quite slowly and you're hitting it for 40, so it's gonna break quicker. If you can find a low rarity SMG like a gray compact SMG, not only are you going to hit the vehicle faster because the fire rate of the compact SMG is faster than a pickaxe swing, you're doing less damage per hit, so you have more durability on the vehicle to then have more chance of mechanical parts. I've pulled out a compact SMG, sprayed at a vehicle, and within like a second or two, I've gotten like 4 or 5 mechanical parts. So just a pro tip there, if you're trying to get more mechanical parts from a vehicle, make sure it is an actual vehicle that you can drive, because those are the ones that give you more mechanical parts. Obviously, the rusted, broken down vehicles, you're only going to get one when you break it, regardless of how many times you hit it. But that's a big tip to maximizing how many mechanical parts you get from a vehicle. Because if you're in trios and you're going a drop spot that only has 3 or 4 vehicles, you need to make sure that you're getting every single mechanical part you can out of those vehicles. Get a low rarity SMG, spray it down, and start with the tires. The tires also count as an extra chance to get mechanical parts that don't break the durability of the car. So that's 4 more extra hits you get. Trust me, when it comes to trios comp, every single mechanical part is going to count from your drop spot. There's been a lot of conversation around mechanical parts and how do I get mechanical parts, because that's what everyone wants, but with everyone realizing just how strong the primal shotgun is, you'll actually start to realize that getting primal parts, getting the bones, is actually harder, especially if you're relying on just eliminating the animals. Now remember, obviously, chickens also give you the bones as well, so make sure if you're seeing chickens, you're eliminating chickens as well, not just the wolves, not just the pigs. But the easiest way to get primal parts is near the center of the map. Any of the primal locations, especially the bridges, are are insane because if you've got the skull on the edge of the bridge or in any of the wooden parts or any of the decorations, if you break that skull, you get a guaranteed bone part. So you can get so many bones. Like if you go to the bridge between Salty and Weeping, or sorry, not Salty, Bony Burbs or whatever it's called now. If you go to that bridge, there is like 8 different bone parts that you can get off that bridge or more without eliminating any animals whatsoever. So if you want to do primal upgrades, I'd recommend trying to go a drop spot that has a rotation near the center of the map. Go near any of these locations. Again, try to avoid the Spire and maybe Bony Burbs that are really, really contested. But those bridge areas, especially the one that's over near the gas station towards Lazy, any of these bridges and you're guaranteed more than enough bones to do a double primal weapon upgrade. Just keep that in mind. Don't just go looking around for the wolves and the pigs because, man, from someone who likes to run the primal shotgun a lot, they're really difficult to find. The only way that I guarantee my primal upgrades is going to these locations. All right, moving on to arguably the strongest NPCs on the map, the upgrade NPCs. There are now 6 of them on the map total, and like I said, they spawn every single game. So let's run through exactly where they are. If you didn't know, Fortnite.gg, it's a great platform that you can use. It's a great tool you can use to go see where things are on the map. They're updating it slowly. Some things are still outdated, but right now the NPCs are updated. This isn't sponsored, by the way. I just love using this map because it's super helpful. So let's talk about the 6 upgrade NPCs. When you look at the map, you'll know they're the upgrade NPCs because they have the yellow arrow up, which lets them upgrade. So starting at the bottom, you have Jules at Camp Cod. You have the Bandolier, which is over at Flush Factory. Now note, the Bandolier also sells a legendary pump, which is insane. If you can get your hands on enough gold, which you can get from the Bandolier quest to then buy one, it is ridiculous. But because of that, it is very heavily early contested. You also have John Wick, or the Reaper, which is over at the John Wick house as well. You have Jonesy at Pleasant Park, which not enough people are talking about. You have Remedy at Craggy, which is the medic girl. She was always used to be there, but she also spawned up on the hill. Because the medic house is no longer there, she is now always at Craggy Cliffs. And then you have the dummy at the little kind of junkyard outside of Dirty Docks. The issue with the upgrade NPCs, a lot of people have figured out where they are now, and a lot of people are dropping there, and they're heavily contested. So yes, upgrading is insane, but you really do have to fight your way out of it to actually win it. Jules, for example, at Camp Cod, the quests she gives are so ridiculously easy. One of the quests is collecting crafting parts, and then you can buy crafting parts off her for less gold than what you get back for the quest. So you literally are getting given crafting parts and gold for nothing. I mean, you don't even have to buy them from her. You can just get that quest and then go farm them because there's so many vehicles and areas around this. But her quests are insane, but it means that she is heavily contested. So what I wanted to talk about with the upgrade NPCs is not necessarily always dropping on them, but some really good drop spots that let you kind of go from that area towards the upgrade NPCs. Check out if they're contested, check out if you get zoned, and then upgrade them. That's pretty much what my main strategy this season has been. Don't drop at the upgrade NPCs, drop at the phenomenal spots around them, and I'm going to talk about which ones, and then rotate in, because that's what really gives you that massive advantage where you have really good on-spawn consistency because you're very heavily uncontested, and then you still get the phenomenal loot by rotating down, especially when a lot of the times people are trying to get all the gold, they're trying to upgrade, then they're trying to craft. It takes them quite a long time. If you roll in and you found any primal or actual mechanical weapon on spawn and you rotate in, you can usually eliminate the person who's been putting all that time into getting the crafting material, then do the gold yourself, or you rotate so late that they're already moved on and you just get a free upgrade and crafting. Because quite often for me, I hold on to my crafting parts until I go to the upgrade, and then I craft it like I talked about earlier. But crafting only takes a few seconds. It's only a little bit longer than getting a mini off. So try to run around and not have an upgraded weapon when you have the parts because you want to go upgrade it is actually not too bad. I'll run around with a green makeshift AR or something, waiting to get to the upgrade NPC. If all of a sudden I see a player there and I think they're going to fight me, I can then just invest in crafting it and then fight them. It's really not that hard to do mid-fight or before a fight starts. You don't always have to, oh my gosh, I'm scared, I need to upgrade my weapon and upgrade it. You can hold on to those parts. My favorite drop spot on the map right now, and it doesn't seem like it'd be that strong from the outside, so it is not contested at all. I hope my video doesn't ruin my own drop spot, but it is a really solid one, is Weeping Woods. Now, let me kind of continue here. Let me tell you why Weeping Woods is so good. You have 3 freezer spawns. You have guaranteed enough parts to do a mechanical upgrade every single time, and guaranteed enough parts to do a primal upgrade every single time by going to the bridge. And that's not just you need good luck on hitting the cars. Because you have that kind of RV parking area, you can then break all of those to guarantee give you 4 mechanical parts or more. The reason why I love this as well is you have rotation potential for 2 of the NPCs depending on zones. If you get a decent first zone, making your way down to Bandolette is not an issue at all. It is very, very close to just rotate down through Slurpee. Also, the Reaper if you get a far zone towards the west, and you can even rotate towards Jonesy if you get a far north zone as well, but you don't even need to. A lot of the times with how much loot Weeping has, especially in the surrounding areas, I walk away with usually a purple upgrade almost every single time, just because finding a blue makeshift at a drop this big is not that difficult, as well as having enough. So my ideal loadout right now is usually finding something like, it depends. If I want to play against good players and I want to try and play skillfully, I'm running the pump right now. Otherwise, I run the primal shotgun. But for me, I find 2 makeshifts at Weeping almost every single time. I either do a double mechanical upgrade, so I get the pump and a mechanical AR, because I much prefer the mechanical AR. Or if I want to play super aggressive and I just want a W key, quite often what I'll do is just get the guaranteed mechanical AR by farming the RVs, because I've got 4 parts. Then I'll swing by the bridge over at Bernie Burbs. I'll get enough skulls, like I talked about, breaking the skulls to get the bones, and then I'll get a primal shotgun. But the main thing that I love having in my inventory right now is having a stink bow. And you can guarantee that because since you're now dropping somewhere right next to the lake, right next to the water, I go kill one of the toads, I get my stink bow, and I'm full loadout. I always walk out of Weeping with full shield, whichever AR and shotgun upgrades I want, because the parts are there, and I get my stink bow, and I'm ready to go from a drop spot that is not heavily contested, that doesn't have upgrades, but if you get a good zone, you can go upgrade. My second favorite drop on the map right now, for similar reasons but not quite, is Catty Corners or Weather Station, depending on how you want to go, because this is my drop spot where I love going down and either early eliminating the player at Camp Cod who've been having that fight, because Camp Cod right now can get 4, 5, 6, 7 kids because they all want to go for that upgrade NPC. You come down from Catty Corners or from the Weather Station healthy, you can usually take them out pretty easily, or again, like I said, if you get a decent zone, wait till they rotate and just hit the upgrade yourself. But Catty Corners gives you guaranteed peppers, the only carryable mobility in the game right now. That is absolutely massive. You have guaranteed mechanical parts, you have guaranteed max mats of everything, you get full shield from all the crates and the noms, so you get to carry any shield you want, and then you do have that upgrade potential to rotate down into. You get max material. The only issue is the fact that you don't get bones. There is no real way around here to do a primal upgrade, so if you are heavily leaning towards the primal upgrades, you kind of have to hope you find a primal weapon, or if you just like mechanical upgrades, there are heaps of mechanical parts here. There's usually at least 4 or 5 cars that spawn. You have the truck, you have the trailer of the truck, which gives you another 2. You have the toolboxes inside the main building. Mechanical upgrades are really easy here, and depending on how you play with your gold as well, this is where you have Bunker Jonesy spawning on the 2 locations down the bottom right of Misty, and then at the bottom right of Catty Corners. So if you get enough gold from doing the quests in this area, because you really can, you can always hit the rift late rotate if you want to. Like, there's some really interesting strategies you can come up with here that I think would be insane to pull out in a solo cash cup. Pleasant Park and Craggy are 2 favorite drops of mine because I like big open POIs where I can drop in one building, get my loot, and then strategically fight my way around. And now the fact they have 2 guaranteed upgrade NPCs has just made them even stronger. Again, they are more heavily contested now, so this is more of an aggressive POI drop if you do want to have a drop to go for to get eliminations and then walk out with the loot from it. Craggy Cliffs also has one of the god chests. You'll notice that I haven't been talking too much about these god chests. There's basically spots around the map right now that have these like big double chests that can drop RPGs, gold pumps, legendary pumps, heaps of shields. They're pretty much the blue legendary chests on steroids. Craggy Cliffs has a chance to spawn one of these as well, so that gives it just an added boost. It's under the stairs. I'll try to mark the building on the map to make sure it's very clear, but you'll notice if you ever dropped here before, there's that kind of hole in the wall that's behind those kind of cabinets. You break those down and then you go in, and that's where you'll see it. You'll also hear it if you're anywhere near it. It's very loud, but these are the 2 drop spots I'd recommend right now as like W key drop spots. They're not as heavily contested in RNG as something like the Spire, where there's just no loot and everyone's scrambling for a mythic gun, but at the same time, there are quite a few people dropping there. If you're smart and you know how to play the spawn fight, you'll get the eliminations and you'll walk out with the upgrade. So those are my 2 favorite kind of POIs to go right now. There are so many phenomenal options you have if you're doing far west drop spots to take advantage of the Reaper John Wick's upgrade. I mean, you can drop at Fort Crumpet, rotate down. You can drop on the beach, try to get some loot and surprise players who are dropping on that house who are shambles. You can even do late rotates out of the islands, hit the little EMAD GG storm strat, get a whole bunch of fish, get a bunch of meds, go late upgrade, and then rotate in a little bit late. There is so much cool stuff you can do now, knowing these upgrade NPCs are going to be there, and knowing that if you drop somewhere that's further away from people, yeah, you might not start off with the best weapons, but you can easily upgrade and then craft to get purple loadout pretty much guaranteed every game. There are so many jobs you can go around the map. Look at the map, figure out spots that you like in this area that'll let you rotate into the NPCs. Don't try to drop on them, because that's my main advice right now. Yeah, I could be telling you to go the dummy outside Dirty Docks near in the junkyard area. Cypher PK's done a video on it. Jerian's talked about it. I did a tweet talking about it. It has like 8 kids dropping on a triple chest spawn and like 5 loot drops. You're not going to win that consistently enough to show off how strong the drop is, but late rotating in, crafting, that's what the meta of this season is going to be, guaranteed. Alright guys, that does it for another video. I hope you liked the different style. I didn't want to do just a drop here, go here, grab this loot, because a lot of people do those in the past. A, I don't think they're very fun. B, I don't feel like you learn a lot about Fortnite and rotations. You're just kind of going off a script that someone's told you. But I did want to give you guys some of my big tips and some really, really meta breaking things around the map right now that you can rotate into and incorporate into your own loot path. So when someone does a video on one of these drops, it doesn't ruin it for you and you have nowhere to go. You can figure out other ways around it. So if you like that kind of style, please chuck a like on it. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.